Hi, I'm Chris Seaton, and this is the Sit Down with Chris Seaton. Today's episode, Tips for a Great Lawyer Experience. I recently did this video on Facebook Live, and it got a lot of positive interaction, so I thought for the benefit of the Sit Down viewers and listeners, I'd go ahead and do a video version of it. Uh, Being an attorney, there are a lot of things that I see that can damage the relationship between the attorney and client before things actually happen. And there are a lot of ways that these experiences can be improved by just taking a few simple steps. So, through the course of this video, we're going to talk about various things that you can do in order to make sure that your time spent with an attorney is maximized and that you get the most out of the experience possible. So, without further ado, let's go to part one. Never, ever, 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 ever ask a lawyer a legal question on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or any other form of social media. They won't answer it. There's a reason for that, and it's called the attorney-client privilege, and that's the subject of another video, but we'll go into that at that time. The point being is that when you ask someone a question for legal advice over a social media platform, there is no guarantee whatsoever, especially with something like Facebook, that the communication isn't being monitored by someone. That is a violation of the attorney-client privilege if someone else has access to that particular question and answer session, and the attorney could get in big trouble for it. So, how do you go about asking a question? It's very simple. You pick up the phone and you call the attorney's office and ask for an appointment. It's very simple. We all have phone numbers, they're really easy to find. And if you have any need to find an attorney somewhere, just Google attorney search for whatever thing you need in your area and call someone up. They'll be more than happy to talk to you. But don't try to do it over social media. There's no expectation of privacy, and therefore the attorney client privilege will be waived. Similarly, if you see an attorney in public and he or she identifies themselves as an attorney, and you try to stop them for a second with, hey, I just have this one legal question, expect to get a business card and a nice message to the effect of, hey, that's really cool. I'd love to discuss it right now, but unfortunately, now's not the time to do it. Why don't you call my office and set up an appointment? Once again, this is because of the attorney client privilege. We don't want anything that we say to you about your potential legal issue being privy to other ears that might hear something that's incriminating or something that doesn't need to be heard by other individuals and spread by other individuals. Once again, the best way to get in touch with an attorney is to schedule an appointment through a phone call at his or her office. Expect to pay for the attorney's time. I know that's a really, really hard thing to consider, especially when you consider you're probably just coming in for a consultation initially. And there are so many ads on the radio that say that, well, if you come in, you get a free consultation for your issue. And who doesn't like the price of free 99, right? I mean, that's the best price you can get for anything. But the best way I can tell you is that when attorneys charge you for a consultation, it's because what we deal in is our experience and our knowledge. And if we simply give that away to you, then we don't have any money to put on the table to feed our families. We like nice things just like you do. And yes, going to an attorney is an inconvenience. Yes, it does cost money. There's a lot of things in life that are inconveniences that cost money. Think of the consultation as more of a legal health and wellness checkup. That's where we come in and we assess your case and we tell you whether or not you have one that's worth pursuing. Uh, but do expect to pay, and do expect to pay from the start because that's just how it works. This is a business where we trade in our knowledge and expertise and ability to get things done, and you have to pay us for it. Simple as that. Don't lie to your lawyer. Now, you're probably going to do it anyway. We understand that. I used to operate under this misguided notion that all my clients were going to tell me the truth all the time. Then I eventually learned to adopt a statement one of my colleagues made, which was just understand that about 50% of what people are going to say are going to be lies from the start. That way, everything becomes more fun later on in the end. I don't like the way he says that. I think that when you lie to your lawyer, a couple of things happen. First of all, it makes you look bad eventually. Second, it makes your attorney look bad eventually. And finally, when it gets revealed in court that you lied about something, both of you look bad and the judge doesn't take it really happily. So understand the whole purpose of that initial visit and attorney client privilege and everything behind it is to make sure that you're able to speak truthfully about your issues. And when it comes to even the most sensitive stuff, look, we're not here to judge you. We're not here to pass a moral value on whether or not you sleeping with another woman or another dude or whether you allegedly committing a criminal act was a bad thing. We're here to make sure that you are taken care of, that your problems are our problems. So we don't pass judgment. I know it sounds morally ambiguous, but that's part of what we do. So just know that you can speak to us in complete and total confidence. Don't lie to us and go from there. All right? Just be truthful. Best way to be. When you come to our offices, make sure that you bring all documentation with you that you think is necessary to your case. If it's a will, if it's arrest warrant, if it's documents from the scene of a crime, Facebook, screen caps, whatever the case may be, bring them, bring copies, bring them so that we can put them in our file, make sure we have access to them, the works. We want to make sure that we're able to discuss everything we can with you, but if you're asking us whether the validity of paragraph 3 in a contract is valid, it is in play, and you don't have that contract with you, we can't really do anything about it. So before you come, make sure that you bring all the documents that you think you're going to need to show us so that we have the ability to look at them and advise you appropriately. Asking for percentages is a really bad idea when you're talking to an attorney. We can't guarantee you any kind of an outcome on a case. We're usually bound by rules against that. However, one of the questions I get asked often during the course of any first interaction with a client is, what percentage chance do I have of winning this particular case? And I can't give them that percentage because we don't know all the facts that have been worked out yet. The best way I can describe it is a court case is almost like American Idol. You know, you start out with a huge field of contestants, and then slowly the field narrows down and narrows down and narrows down. And as it narrows down, you get a better idea of how it's going to turn out. But in the beginning, it's really impossible to give a percentage chance of who's going to win. Now, what a person can do is advocate for one particular side to win in American Idol, and that's the purpose of an attorney. An attorney is there to advocate for you and to make sure your rights are protected, make sure that your best interests are put before anything else. Now, but asking for percentages, it's not going to work because we can't really give you anything other than our opinions on a case. So asking for guarantees, asking for opinions, just don't go there. We can't do that. Finally, don't wait until the last second before you decide to go look for an attorney. I know a lot of people get stressed when it comes to legal matters and they think for some reason that maybe they can just handle it on their own, or maybe they can do something to alleviate the issue by themselves. I strongly encourage you, the moment you think you need an attorney, go out and look for one immediately. Uh, if you can't find one right off the bat that meets your needs, ask for a referral. Uh, if you can't reasonably afford an attorney, go to legal aid. If you can't, um, if you have to wait till the last minute, get a court appointed attorney, but get a lawyer as soon as you possibly can. The sooner that you get an attorney on your case, the sooner that attorney can start damage control, if any is necessary, and the sooner the attorney is able to do what he or she needs to do to make sure that you have the best outcome possible for your case. So, those are my tips for helping you have a better attorney client experience. I'm Chris Seaton. This is the Sit Down with Chris Seaton. If you like what you see, please subscribe, rate, and review the channel. We've got more good stuff coming. If you want to listen to our podcast that we do every week, you can do so at the link we're going to put down right here. And if you want to fund this little enterprise and help come up with more videos and more interesting content, you can do so by visiting the Patreon account located right here. Until next time, take care of yourselves and each other. Peace.